Well, as you can see, I'm here at the CCA workbench by myself. My man Dave, he actually called in sick this week. He's a little under the weather. So you know what? Sharks fishing, something I've been guiding for sharks for decades. And it's certainly one of the favorite things that I like to do. And in the last few years, the shark population has made my job really easy. Great fish to take the kids. But more importantly, one of the things I want to tell you is on those days when you'd normally think about going home because it's going to blow too hard, those are the best days to go shark fishing. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to need. We're going to start off with a medium heavy spinning rod or a conventional rod, whatever fits your fancy. We're going to use a circle hook, of course, with a piece of wire. I loaded this up with some Pro Spec 30-pound chrome, and this is going to work perfectly for my bait. Now, guys, I'm not just talking to the bait fishermen this week. We're going to talk about the same technique that I'm going to teach you here at the workbench. We are going to also apply to guys that want to use flies. You need to know one thing about fly fishing. You need an orange fly just like this one. That's all you need to eat orange flies. Isn't it ironic that the Coast Guard puts us in orange life jackets so there's really no survivors in a crash? But nevertheless, we won't get into that too much. So first off, we're going to start off with a bait. So you got to have something to chum the fish in. So I got barracuda is certainly the best one. I got this small barracuda. I want to show you how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to fillet down the sides and we leave the fillets attached. So it makes this very easy, and I'll show you why this is important. Once I've filleted both sides, now I've created this butterfly. I also am going to take this clip and I'm going to hook this clip into the mouth of the barracuda. Now this clip and this rope has a loop already on it. So all we're essentially going to do is we're going to hang this off the cleat of our boat, and it's going to be dangling just like this. So leave the head. This is very important, guys. Make sure that the head is out of the water. So when you tie this off to your forward cleat, you want to make sure the head is out of the water so that it's like you up there shaking a chum bag. Really cool way. Again, you can start off with one side filleted, and then as the day progresses, then you can fillet down the other side. One cuda will really serve your purpose very well. Now, I use a piece of 40-pound or 50-pound between my wire and my braided line, because most of the time when you get the shark up near the boat, or if you hook a black tip or a spinner shark, they're going to come up jumping. And when that happens, they're going to get all wrapped up in the line. If you don't have a little bit of a shock cord, what ends up happening is their skin wears right through there. So now that we've created our butterfly barracuda, let me show you why this is going to work and how it's going to work. I've drawn out my chittum. Here's my 21 chittum. Now understand, guys, this is a day when it's blowing 15 to 20. The harder it's blowing, the better it's going to be. And the reason why is because ideally what we want is the current or the tide going in. We'll say this is in. And then we want the wind going in an opposite direction. And why this works so very well is because you have tide against the wind. So the boat's going to go this way, but the current's going to take the smell of our hanging barracuda, butterfly cuda like that. Now here's how it works. When you get close to the boat, the closer you are to the cuda, it creates a scent corridor. As you drift further, it creates this big Y like so. And guess what? The sharks will come in, and as he comes down and gets in the smell, remember this about a shark, guys. A shark can actually smell 1 part blood, 1 drop of blood to 1,000,000 parts of water. So their smell is beyond belief. Now this is the reason why we want to make sure we're drifting, because when we drift and he smells this barracuda, he's going to come in, and once he smells this drop of blood, he's going to swim till he gets outside of this strength of corridor. Now, 150 yards away, that corridor could be 100 yards wide, but as he gets closer to the boat and as he gets outside of what the smell is, he's going to turn back in, and he's going to come all the way across until the smell starts to be diluted, and then he turns back in, and as the smell gets stronger, he gets more excited and more excited, and as he gets outside of this edge, he turns back in. But guess what? As he gets closer to the boat, he's doing this. Now, for the fly guys, your cast, you're going to throw your fly, it's 10 feet, 10-foot cast. You can watch him eat the fly at your feet. Remember this, let the boat drift one direction and let the tide take the smell. You'll see these sharks, it's the funnest fishing you can do on when it's blowing 20 miles an hour or better. And you're going to really say, you know what, Captain Rick, this is so spot on. Now, If the tide and the current are going the same, it doesn't work as well, because what ends up happening is your smell stays right around the boat here, and so it's not creating this corridor. So at that stake, what I usually tell everybody to do, if the tide and the wind are together, just stake out the boat and allow the wind and the tide to create even more of a current. But they're not gonna be quite as hot. Remember this about a shark? The first time he comes in, he's gonna come in real hot. A lot of times they'll eat the cuda right off the bow of the boat. The second time he comes in, he's gonna be half as aggressive. And the third time, you might see him out here, and until his buddy shows up, he's gonna know the bag's up. So keep that in mind. Don't let that discourage you. Anytime you're fishing with a bait, just drag the bait, because when you're drifting, he thinks that it's a wounded animal because it's swimming away from him. It's not swimming away from him. You're just drifting away from him. That's Shark 101. I hope that helps you catch one. And you know what, Bree, what do you think?
I'm over here eating my Project Turkey Jerky like popcorn. I can't. That was wonderful, Rex.
All right.
Who knew you could talk for 5 minutes all by yourself?
All by my sweet self.
I can't believe it.